Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to The Honest Feminine. Today we're talking about something that might make some of you uncomfortable, and that's exactly why we need to talk about it. Receiving expensive gifts, luxury, being the woman who is lavished upon. And I already know what some of you are thinking. This is shallow. This is materialistic. Real love isn't about money. And here's what I want to say to that. You're absolutely right that real love isn't about money, but this conversation isn't really about the gifts. It's about what the gifts represent. It's about your capacity to receive. It's about valuing yourself enough to accept generosity. It's about the energy you embody that makes a man want to give to you. Because here's the truth. Men who have resources want to give to a woman they adore. It's actually one of the primary ways masculine energy expresses love and devotion. Providing, protecting, giving, this lights him up. But he can only give to a woman who knows how to receive. And most women, if we're being honest, are terrible at receiving. So let's talk about the real energy, the real mindset, the real feminine frequency that allows you to be the woman who receives luxury, not from a place of entitlement or manipulation, but from a place of genuine self-worth and openness. Before we go any further, we need to address the elephant in the room. Why does this topic make so many women uncomfortable? Why do we feel guilty or shallow for wanting nice things? Why do we feel like we need to earn expensive gifts or prove we're worthy of them? Here's where it comes from. We've been conditioned to believe that wanting material things makes us superficial, that good women are low maintenance, that asking for what we want makes us high maintenance or entitled or gold diggers. We've internalized this idea that feminine desire for luxury is somehow wrong or dirty. But let's be honest, men aren't judged this way. A man who wants a nice watch, a nice car, success, wealth, he's ambitious, he's driven. But a woman who wants the same things, she's materialistic, she's shallow, she's using men. This is internalized misogyny, and we need to call it out. Because your desire for beautiful things, for luxury, for ease and abundance, this isn't shallow. This is feminine energy at its core. Feminine energy loves beauty. It loves being adorned. It loves luxury and sensuality and being treasured. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, does this mean love is about money? Absolutely not. Does this mean you should be with someone just because they can buy you things? Of course not. But it does mean that if you desire a life of abundance and a partner who loves to give to you, you don't need to feel guilty about that. You just need to embody the energy that attracts it. Let's talk about masculine energy for a moment, because this is key to understanding the whole dynamic. High-value masculine men who are successful, who have resources, who are providers, they're wired to give. It's not about showing off, though some men do that. It's about expressing their masculine energy through provision. When a man gives you an expensive gift, here's what he's really saying. You're valuable to me. I see you. I want to take care of you. I want to see you light up. Making you happy makes me feel like a man. This is his love language. And when you receive graciously, you're actually giving him a gift back. You're allowing him to feel successful in making you happy. You're allowing him to express his masculine energy. You're reflecting back to him that he's a good provider, a good man, someone who can take care of his woman. But here's where most women mess this up. They either refuse the gift out of false modesty or guilt, downplay their happiness to seem low maintenance, immediately try to reciprocate to even things out, feel obligated or guilty, which creates weird energy. All of these responses rob him of the joy of giving and rob you of the joy of receiving. They create a block in the natural flow of masculine to feminine energy. The woman who receives luxury well, she accepts graciously, she lights up, she appreciates without feeling guilty. She doesn't try to immediately reciprocate because she understands that her feminine energy, her joy, her radiance, that is her gift back to him. Okay, so let's get into the actual how. And it starts here with genuine self-worth, not arrogance, not entitlement, not, I deserve this because I'm pretty, but real, deep, unshakable knowing that you are valuable. The woman who receives luxury isn't demanding it from a place of entitlement. She's not saying, "You better buy me this or I'm leaving." She's not manipulating or withholding to get what she wants. That's actually low-value energy, and it repels high-value men. Instead, she simply knows her worth. She knows she's the prize. She knows that her presence, her energy, her attention, her love, these are valuable. And because she knows this deeply, she doesn't feel guilty receiving gifts. She doesn't feel like she needs to earn them. She understands that a man who values her will naturally want to express that through giving. So, how do you cultivate this self-worth? It starts with how you treat yourself. Are you waiting for a man to buy you nice things, or are you buying yourself nice things? Are you waiting for someone else to make you feel valuable, or are you treating yourself like you're already valuable? This is crucial. You cannot expect someone else to treat you better than you treat yourself. If you're constantly settling for less, wearing clothes you don't love, living in a space that doesn't light you up, denying yourself small luxuries, you're training yourself to believe you're not worthy of nice things. Start where you are. Maybe you can't afford the designer bag right now, but you can buy yourself fresh flowers every week. You can invest in one really beautiful piece instead of 10 cheap ones. You can create a luxurious morning ritual. You can start treating yourself with the care and attention you want to receive. Because here's what happens energetically. When you value yourself, when you treat yourself well, you emit a frequency that says, "I am worth treasuring." And high-value men pick up on that frequency immediately. Now let's talk about receptivity, because this is where the real magic happens. Receptivity is one of the core feminine superpowers, and most modern women have completely shut this down. We've been taught to be independent, to not need anyone, to give more than we receive, to be givers, nurturers, supporters, and all of that has value, but it's created an imbalance. We've become so good at giving that we've forgotten how to receive. And men can feel this. When you're in your masculine energy doing, achieving, being self-sufficient, it doesn't create space for him to give to you. You're essentially saying, "I've got this, I don't need anything." And while that might feel empowering, it actually blocks the natural masculine-feminine polarity. Receptivity is about softening. It's about being open. It's about allowing. It's about creating space for someone to give to you without immediately trying to reciprocate or fix things or prove you don't need help. Here's what this looks like practically. When he offers to pay for dinner, you say, "Thank you, that's so generous," instead of, "Are you sure? We can split it." When he buys you a gift, you light up with genuine appreciation instead of, "Oh, you shouldn't have. This is too much." When he asks what you want, you tell him honestly instead of, "Oh, I don't need anything, I'm easy." When he wants to help you with something, you let him instead of, "It's okay, I can handle it." This isn't about being helpless or playing dumb or pretending you can't do things yourself. You absolutely can. But receptivity is about understanding that allowing someone to give to you, to help you, to spoil you, this actually creates intimacy. It allows him to feel needed and valued. It creates the polarity that makes him feel masculine and makes you feel feminine. Here's something that might surprise you. The woman who receives luxury is clear about what she wants. She doesn't play games. She doesn't hint vaguely and hope he figures it out. She's not afraid to express her desires. But there's a huge difference between expressing desire and demanding. Let me show you. Demanding. "If you really loved me, you'd buy me that bag." Expressing, "I've been dreaming about this bag. I'm saving up for it, but isn't it beautiful?" Demanding, "I need expensive gifts to feel valued." Expressing, "I love when you surprise me with thoughtful gifts. It makes me feel so special, and I'm watching the what is the and what turn." Demanding, "You should take me on nicer dates." Expressing, "I'd love to try that new restaurant everyone's talking about. Would you want to take me sometime?" See the difference? One is manipulative and creates obligation. The other is open and inviting. One pushes, the other attracts. The feminine woman who receives luxury is comfortable expressing what she loves, what lights her up, what she desires, without attachment to whether she gets it or not. She's not testing him. She's not keeping score. She's simply being authentic about what brings her joy. And here's the beautiful part. When a man loves you and you're clear about what lights you up, he'll want to give that to you, not because you demanded it, but because making you happy makes him happy. Let's talk about standards, because this is where things can get tricky. Having standards is attractive. Having standards means you know your worth and you're not willing to settle for less than you deserve. But there's a difference between standards and being high maintenance. Standards are about how you're treated, the values you share, the character of the person. These are non-negotiables. I expect honesty, respect, loyalty, effort, emotional availability. These are standards. Preferences are about lifestyle compatibility. I prefer someone who enjoys traveling, who values experiences, who likes to give gifts. These are preferences. These can be deal breakers if they're important to you, but they're different from character standards. The woman who receives luxury isn't with a man just because he has money. She's with him because he's a high-value man who treats her well, and part of how he shows his love is through generosity. The money is a bonus, not the foundation. So yes, you can have a preference for a generous partner. You can desire a lifestyle of abundance. You can want a man who loves to spoil you. But make sure that's not the only thing you're looking for. Make sure you're also valuing his character, his integrity, his emotional availability, how he treats others. Because here's the truth. There are plenty of rich men who are terrible partners, who are controlling, who use money to manipulate, who are emotionally unavailable, and no amount of luxury is worth being with someone who doesn't truly value you as a person. Now let's talk about gratitude, because this is one of the most powerful tools for becoming the woman who receives luxury. And I don't mean fake gratitude or performative appreciation, I mean genuine, heartfelt gratitude that lights you up from the inside. When you receive a gift, any gift, big or small, your response matters. Not just your words, but your energy. Are you genuinely appreciative? Are you lit up? Or are you uncomfortable and trying to rush past the moment? Practice this. When someone gives you something, pause. Take a breath. Let yourself actually receive it energetically. Feel the appreciation in your body. Let yourself light up. Look him in the eyes and say thank you from a genuine place. This isn't about performing. It's about truly allowing yourself to feel and express appreciation. Because when a man sees you light up because of something he did, it reinforces the behavior. It makes him want to do it again. It makes him feel successful. And here's the thing about gratitude. It raises your frequency. When you're genuinely appreciative, when you're focused on abundance rather than lack, you attract more abundance. It's energetic law. So start practicing gratitude for everything. The small gestures, the thoughtful texts, the effort he makes, the time he spends with you. When you're appreciative of the small things, the big things naturally follow. All right, beautiful, here's what I want you to do. First, examine your relationship with receiving. When someone offers you something, what's your instinct? Do you immediately decline? Do you feel guilty? Do you try to reciprocate right away? Start noticing this pattern. Second, practice receiving in small ways. Let someone hold the door. Accept the compliment without deflecting. Say yes when someone offers to buy you coffee. Build your capacity to receive without guilt. Third, start treating yourself with luxury. Find one small way this week to create a moment of abundance for yourself. It doesn't have to be expensive, it has to be intentional. Being the woman who receives luxury isn't about manipulation or entitlement. It's about embodying feminine abundance, valuing yourself deeply, and being open to receiving without guilt. It's about understanding that your joy, your radiance, your feminine energy, these are incredibly valuable gifts you bring to a relationship. And when you truly embody this, you won't need to chase luxury. It will chase you. Thanks for being here, beautiful souls. Let's keep having these honest conversations that we're not supposed to have. because real feminine power comes from being honest about what we want and unapologetic about claiming it. Until next time, stay honest, stay feminine, stay abundant.